Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I wanted to take you through my everyday working pantry tour. I've been called upon to show you what I've got behind all of these doors, and I haven't showed you this one I mean ever, I don't think. And this pantry differs from my prepper pantry and my long-term storage because it is something we're pulling through every single day. I am always adamant about going through your pantries and rotating them if it's not your long-term storage and using what you have on hand. I will say that was my biggest hurdle to overcome when I first started prepping, because I purchased all this shelf-stable food. It looked beautiful on the shelves. At least that's what everybody in this little business we have here shows you. I have shown you mine. It is disorganized and it has some sort of method to the madness in my mind. So I know where everything is, but I have created lists to let my family in on that as well. And then I did little pictures next to the list so the kids could know too, and so they could help. But getting back to it, I will say it was very overwhelming because I had all this food and I wasn't going through it in time. So a lot of it went to my local food pantry, which is fine, that's okay. But I was trying to utilize, the money that we invested into this prepper pantry, which I do on a budget. So it's not a ton of money. I just didn't want all of this food to go to waste, bottom line. So I'm going to show you what I like to store in my everyday pantry. I feel like that is attainable for everyone. And it comes down to a few categories. I am doing this because I wanted to be a little bit more organized in my pantry, but I also wanted to take these next 2 weeks and do a pantry challenge, cook with what we have on hand. There will be a point where we will have to go to the grocery store for a few little items that we need here and there, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of grace for that. So if you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Tori. I am a wife, mother to 3, and we like to do prepared life on a budget here in Northern Colorado. We would love it if you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and without further ado, let's get right back into this. So with that being said, I am so excited to announce I have finished my little ebook for you. This is not a trial run. We are going for it. I have a grocery list in there for you, as well as 10 recipes, my tried and true recipes when I want to save time and money in the kitchen. And I will say a lot of these items you probably already have on hand if you've been watching my videos. So I'm so excited to share those with you. Again, it will have the grocery list in the beginning of the ebook, and it will have the 10 recipes for you. And I promise this will save you some money. I wish I could give you a number like $40 to spend at the grocery store, but everybody lives in so many different parts of the country. I will say mine is under $35. So we live in Northern Colorado. We live in a rural area, but I will say it's very expensive compared to my hometown in Pennsylvania, for instance. So you might find yourself under the 35 or you might find yourself over, but I did want to mention that. I will leave the link down in the description box. I'm very excited because the ideas come from Pennsylvania roots, but a lot of these are a modern take just because of all of those grocery store prices skyrocketing. So I'm very excited again to share that with you. We would love it if you downloaded it. I downloaded it and put it into a spiral bound notebook along with other recipes that I have typed out, and that stays on my prepper pantry with my little prepper pantry library that we started to establish 2 years ago. So if you want to get your hands on that, definitely head to the link in the description box and it is all yours. I did want to mention I decided to list it at a very discounted rate of $3. I feel like that's budget friendly for everyone, and if it's not, I have plenty of inspiration for you in my budget meal playlist. I understand if you cannot purchase it. I just wanted to give back for hitting 15K and give you some ideas on how to get around all of this inflation and many of these shortages. Alrighty, so here is what we have going on inside, and I feel like this is a good spread because there are some items that we are definitely out of, and then there's other items that we could stand to, I don't know, perhaps swap it with something different. And I also am liking going through this because I can add it to my little free pantry. Some people wanted information about that. I live in a town. You can just put some canned food items out. I take it in every night and then bring it back and forth, you can do that, or you could just donate some of these to your local pantry if you have one of those. So I did want to mention that is why I'm going through this area, but I want to be able to see a little bit better in my everyday pantry. So starting over here, Nut Stop. I did a partnership with them a little ways back, and they have an excellent variety of items. I would say the communication between the rep and I just was not what I was looking for, so I haven't worked with them, but I will say their products are great. So in here we have some goji berry powder. These are great for smoothie bases, and you could put these in the freezer so you can put them with smoothies. I have some banana chips. We got a ton of those because the kids snack on them. And then over here we got some veggie chips. We have some cranberries, dried cranberries right here, as well as some organic hemp protein powder, and then some dark chocolate berries, as well as pumpkin seeds, which is awesome. And that is quite the variety from Nut Stop. And then this right here has a lot of dried beans in here. I like to do those in the crock pot, but we do have dried lima beans from Nut Stop, so that's why that is over there. We have some lentils, black beans, and then I keep all of my La Moderna pastas up here just because they're easy to make for the kids. And I get those at Walmart. They're like 33 cents. We have a ton of them in here, all different kinds of varieties. And then I also keep my ramen noodles in there. I really love Lotus Foods ramen noodles, super delicious, as well as some vermicelli thin noodles. The kids love just them olive oil and Parmesan with that. They really enjoy these tiny pastas is what we call them. It's just a smaller serving, 7 ounces of pasta. So it's nice to have on hand because they're single served in my opinion. We have over here some quinoa. This is where all of my quinoa goes. So that shows me that we could use some more. And then in this area as well, we have white rice, and we are good with white rice, but I've heard recently that India is going to, or they have already by the time you see this video, stopped their export of white rice for us. Well, I mean, a variety of different rices, but they stopped the export. So I would definitely stock up on rice. There's a lot of ways that you can store rice. I would not go for brown rice. That can go rancid, but this is one of those indefinite foods. If you keep it stored in Mylar and then maybe even put it in a 5-gallon bucket with a gamma lid, just so you get some more shelf life on that. But I did want to mention that. And then also in here, we have some random grains. These are just barley pearls, and those are good in soups. They add a lot of filling, so I have that. And then over here, I have ready-go meals is what I like to call them. So chicken noodle soup, standard Campbell's chicken noodle soup. We have cream of chicken soup, and then my favorite, the Amy's organic soups. They do have some high sodium in there, so you're definitely going to want some more water in your diet if you are existing solely on Amy's soups. But I feel like it's okay to have a variety of all of this, especially in a prepper pantry, especially in an emergency situation, because it will keep you fed. But there are better products out there for you, I will say. So macaroni and beef. We have Amy's organic chili, SpaghettiOs, Chef Boyardee. I don't know if you remember a while back, they had like some crazy sale and they were like 25 cents. So grabbed those. I have some natural soup greens. This is from my friend Colleen, but you can just add this into any of these just for some extra added nutrition. It's just dehydrated veggies. I have tortellini, dried tortellini. They are 3 cheese. I have some rice-a-roni, Annie's macaroni, Walmart macaroni, the Progresso creamy corn chowders. Again, a lot of items are better than others, but when I see a sale, especially if it's under $1, I'm gonna stock up. So that's why we have some of these items that I talk badly about quite frequently. We have the Idaho 4-cheese mashed potatoes, and then Martha White's chocolate chip muffins. I don't know, we have some cornmeal here so we can make tamales. They are really, really tasty, and I like making just some little waffles with these. Put some cheese in it and put it in the waffle maker. We have some sauces, the organic coconut aminos, and then we have some barbecue sauce. I of course have all of my sauces that I was talking about. So we have tomato sauce and then vodka sauce, sweet basil, then our Alfredo sauces. I have 2 sauerkrauts right here, as well as some olives. I love olives and they're just nice to have on hand. I do have some duck fat. You can cook with this. If you did not know, it could substitute butter, and it's not a seed oil, so that's a good one for you. This is rather expensive though, so we don't use a ton of it. We have all of our salmons, tunas, and chickens in here, just a ton of different packs that aren't in our bug out bags right now with different flavors. And then we have tuna. This is plant-based tuna. I got that at Dollar Tree a while back and I have not gotten through all of it. Then we have more tuna down there. We eat a lot of tuna. I have some tahini to mix with just about any recipe in here. It adds quite a bit of creaminess, and if you season it right, it won't get bitter. And then I have all of my canned veggies. I have corn, carrots, I have potatoes, green beans, which is what we have the most of because that's my favorite. I have lima beans back there, pureed pumpkin, and I think that's it. I said carrots, yeah. And then we have garbanzo beans, cannellini beans, regular pinto beans, and we have quite a few black beans. They must be in another container that I wasn't looking in, but canned beans are great, so are dried beans though. And then we have some shelf-stable milk up here. I like to rotate through it. This is typically something I'm keeping in the prepper pantry, but it's just easy to bring up here and use for different recipes, especially when we lose power and we need that milk additive for anything really. We've lost power and baked before, and the shelf-stable milk has come in clutch. And then we have our tomato sauce section. So we have a bunch of different canned tomato sauces. We have our Rotels, we have crushed tomato paste, and they're all really great just to use as a base for your typical tomato sauce. And that is basically it. That's what we have. And I thought it would be interesting to just take you back here to my canning pantry and show you what we went through throughout the year and what I plan to do about it. So I like to plan out what I'm canning so I can plan out my garden. So typically I'm taking an inventory during the summertime just before I start canning some of our larger batches. So let me take you over there and show you. I will say I was not planning on a tour, but I just had thought about this. So right now we have 3 left of our bruschetta tomato sauces, which is pretty good. I mean, that just goes to show that we went through 17 of them this year, so yay. And of course we've used Rouse or Raos because I really enjoy it. And then behind there we have some dried storage. We have walnuts, banana chips, we have hemp seeds, chia back there. And I will say hemp and chia, we've gone through 2 jars each, and then walnuts, we've only gone through 1. I like to put that in my pesto. And then banana chips, I just grabbed those for hikes. So, I mean, they're not a necessary item on my shelf, but again, I worked with Nut Stop and I had an overabundance. And then above there, I have a lot of my dried apothecary, sorry about my air filter here, my apothecary herbs and some from Natural Grocers that I'm just gonna jar up. So that's part of it, but typically they are going on this shelf right here, which is now my craft shelf apparently. So over here we have our pickles. We have 3 jars of pickles left, which is pretty good. We did 10, so I don't know. I feel like we usually go through more of those, so I'll have to check out the canning inventory from the year prior, which I hold on to those just to compare and contrast. And then peaches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10, that's great. We like making peach pie with that in the winter time, so that's good. We have 1 thing of Rocky Mountain spring water, and oh look, we do have 1 more jar of sauce there, so that's good. In the back I just have some ashwagandha, and then I have a apple. I know I feel like it's disorganized, but I wasn't planning on a tour. I apologize. I have my pickles here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 salsas, and those are the big salsas, and then I also have the tiny salsas as well. And I will say we did not go through a ton of this. I had this big plan for big batches of salsa rice, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna save us so much money. No, I mean, I still am because these are shelf stable for a while, but I don't know, I could cut back on the salsa. I just get tomato crazy because our garden yielded so much last year. I have my strawberry jam that we did the other day, and then I have zucchini pickles, which is, I have zucchini relish, which is just relish that I used bell pepper and zucchini with instead of cucumber because I had a lot of zucchini on hand. So I have that in here. I have some coconut, some more dried beans, and then over here are my, I guess, canned cabbage for halushkis, and it really has an acidic taste to it though, so I like it as like a sauerkraut, if that makes sense, but really great with halushki. So I have 3 cans of that. That was definitely something I really enjoyed. And then I have 2 apple pies up there, but other than that, that is it. So I feel like we did good. I mean, we definitely put a dent in our stock, but I really want to, you know, look into pressure canning and I don't know, just start doing some canned meats and some meals in a jar, because I think that will be really helpful in the winter with 3 kids and rising grocery prices. Alrighty, my friends, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this pantry tour. I hope this gave you some inspiration to shop your own pantry and get organized, because wow, I absolutely needed this. I should probably do this once a month, but I find myself cleaning out my pantry and taking inventory maybe 4 times a year, which definitely needs to bump up on my to-do list, especially now that I am a stay-at-home mother. So again, I hope you found some inspiration in this video. Please remember that I have linked my ebook with all of my recipes and a grocery list for you. I would love it if you checked it out and tell me what you think about it. I am very excited to share these recipes. It's taken me a long time to put this together, but I'm very, very proud of this recipe book, and I really feel that it will help you. If you are new here, again, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, y'all.